Yes, Kinjal, please go on.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to our evening session, the second last session to be precise. We have currently with us Rishabh Garg and Dwani Chawla from Masters in Urban Infrastructure, and that's from the Faculty of Planning. They're going to be talking to us about their studio and the projects thereafter. And I'm telling you, as we go ahead and as we're about to conclude the session with the last one following this, it just gets very inciting that all of you are watching us there have been with us throughout. Uh, don't miss out on these projects as well. Rishabh, over to you to continue.
Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction. A very warm welcome to all the viewers. I'll be sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes,
Yes.
To
visible.
begin with, in Master of Urban Infrastructure at Faculty of Planning, we started with the foundation program in the first semester, followed by a comprehensive infrastructure plan for a city in the second semester. In the third semester, we developed specific water and sanitation projects to get a deeper understanding of the different sectors in infrastructure planning. We will now be walking you through the journey of our third semester water and sanitation project studio, which was done for the city of Ahmedabad. The studio team for the third semester consisted of a group of 20 students from varying backgrounds consisting of architects, engineers, and planners. Students across 14 cities were divided into four sectors, namely stormwater, water, sanitation, and solid waste, maintaining a balance of academic backgrounds, gender, and current location. The students were guided by Dr. Mona Iyer, Professor Ashwini Kumar, and Dr. Meera Mehta, who were further assisted by teaching associate Mr. Smith Maniar. This is the basic structure of the presentation which we'll be taking you through. The studio aimed to develop a wider understanding of the project formulation process and the various tools and techniques to identify projects for service performance improvements, starting from sector assessment and project formulation, project appraisal, and finally the implementation. Under the guiding principles of spatial equity, sustainability, access for the poor, integrated service delivery, we started with a broad understanding and analysis of the technical, financial, implementation, and the policy and programs for the four sectors of water, sanitation, stormwater, and solid waste. Further, the exercises comprised of a detailed assessment of all the four sectors for Ahmedabad. The analysis covered the entire service chain for water and sanitation services, from capturing it at household level or the community level, conveyance and transport, treatment, disposal, and the reuse throughout the centralized and decentralized systems. The learning outcomes for the studio comprise of developing and assessing options of a comprehensive citywide infrastructure plan inclusive of water, sanitation, and hygiene interventions. This was achieved using tools and techniques of project identification, appraisal, prioritization as per the sectors. We contextualized emerging approaches for the city level water and sanitation, such as climate resilient cities, water sensitive urban design, integrated urban water management, sustainable urban drainage systems, water sensitive planning, low impact development, etc., to further eventually focus on developing individual project appraisal documents, which are showcased at the end in the exhibition. Uh, the major challenge was to adapt the online studio pedagogy. The essence of an on campus studio was very effectively captured as the faculties continuously made efforts to give feedback and reviews as well as stay connected. Adapting to the online studio was successfully achieved through a very extensive pre studio preparation done by the faculties and TA, motivational online activities, followed by bringing the field to the studio. This comprised of setting up Zoom calls with alumni, national and international guest speakers, and ULB officials to facilitate interaction, field visits, and data collection. Further, moving to the weekly timetable, the theory courses throughout the semester covered various aspects such as sustainability, governance, finance, project management, technology, and behavioral aspects, which were designed to support the studio outcome. Further, Dhwani will be taking you through the detailed studio stages and the outputs.
Thank you, Rishabh. The studio was divided into four stages with progress reviews at different intervals. These ensured that each student developed a thematic understanding and was involved in city assessment, sectoral assessment, and identification of projects to finally develop an individual project. Stage 1 was to achieve a thematic understanding of provisions, practices, and innovations for the assigned theme through national and international best practices, understanding of technical, financial, stakeholders, institutions, policy, and programs for each component of the sector value chain. Stage 2 was city level sectoral assessment and preparation of an analytical framework and vision for a sectoral plan with the four key sectors: water, sanitation, stormwater, and solid waste. Further, to develop an overall understanding of municipal finance, including sectoral financial assessments. Stage 3 was sectoral assessment and identification of projects. Appreciation of implementation challenges, understanding of emerging tools, techniques, and innovations. This was done through input lectures by practitioners and government officials, workshops, and hands on exercises, and by bringing AMC and ORDA to the Zoom infrastructure studio to facilitate data gathering. Real time understanding of reporting protocols in urban service delivery, implementation, and monitoring mechanisms was achieved by the field visit to AMC SCADA Center. This stage was concluded with group sectoral reports that contained a detailed citywide infrastructure of a sector and identification of individual sectoral interventions that are relevant for the city based on our assessment. We moved to showcasing our introduction report that we prepared as a class. To reach the stage of preparing a comprehensive plan, a work plan was followed, beginning from the 27th of July 2020. Within the first 2 weeks, various documents were reviewed relating to the aspects of water and sanitation at national, state, and ULB level to understand the provision, practices, and innovations from them, followed by understanding the city of Ahmedabad with 2-minute video representation on each sector. By the fifth week, the city's municipal finance was assessed. The subsequent week's city assessment on the infrastructure sectors were carried out, and by the ninth week, midterm review of it was conducted online. The city assessment included existing infrastructure facilities and detailing of issues and gaps that led to identification of projects for intervention. In the succeeding weeks, the projects were developed that included the institutional, technical, policy, and program, as well as the financial detailing on each of the projects. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, a few site field visits were made by the residents of Ahmedabad. Input lectures from experts were done online. Data were collected through online Google surveys and telephonic interviews with key stakeholders. Finally, the projects were consolidated by 27th of November 2020. Online mode of learning proved to be challenging and helped gain knowledgeable insights. To deep dive into each sector, the city has been assessed on the existing infrastructure and the present issues and challenges led by individual proposals relating to the sector. Each project entails analysis of issues, their origin, and addressal, along with a sustainable financial model for the same. The city has been carried forward, taking sustainability as a key theme, which is defined by the 6 parameters that form the underline of each sector. These parameters are social, environment, finance, technology, smart city, and SDGs. Factors covered under each of the parameters are social awareness, public participation, social equity, municipal finance, detailed costing and financial modeling, reduce, reuse, recycle, and maintenance of biodiversity and natural resources, SCADA, complaint redressal, smart governance, smart energy, smart infrastructure, smart technology, and eventually smart citizens. Now, we will move to showcasing our conclusion report. To move towards a sustainable Ahmedabad, three main steps were inculcated to conclude. This includes scenario building of the impact, phasing and costing, as well as how to achieve sustainable development. All the interventions have been planned keeping the global scenario in mind. Sustainable development goals achievable by 2030 have been targeted, especially in each sector, to achieve social, economic, and environmental enhancement for the city. Providing improved and equitable water and sanitation services, risk mitigation plan for disasters, capacity building for groundwater management through public participation positively impacts the society and targets SDG 1, 4, 5, and 6. Economic impacts include influencing global practices, attracting FDI and sponsities, waste to energy, segregated waste management, enhancing the business opportunities for the city, and create circular economy. The issues like climate change, water stressed cities, and increasing pollution levels are responded through many interventions globally. Making efficient use of water, reducing pollution through waste management, and introducing concepts such as low impact development, integrated urban water management, and sponsities have been proposed for Ahmedabad. These target SDGs 6, 7, 11, 12, and 13. The final stage started with developing a broad list of possible sectoral interventions based on sectoral assessment and prevailing national and international best practices, followed by enhanced understanding of practical feasibility of interventions based on the experience of the sector experts and ULB officials. Several iterations and stakeholder consultations, one-on-one discussions led to finalization of the draft proposal in each sector. Synthesis was done to arrive at sector investments and improvements based on future scenarios, individual interventions, and the group's approach to address the sectoral issues. Sector wide thinking and projectization of ideas in an integrated way was highlighted to get a comprehensive overview of four sectors, individual interventions, and achievable sustainable development goals. This was arrived through an iterative process of discussions with the experts, stakeholders, one to one discussions with the faculty, and through peer group reviews.
Talking further, we'll be moving to the Winter School exhibition. Coming to the SIPT Winter Exhibition 2020, one can view the page at exhibition.sipt.ac.in/WE20. Once you land on this page, you can click on the icon Enter to see the works done by the various students. The program has, to view the studio work, one can click on the studio icon, select Faculty of Planning, and in the programs division, Master of Urban Infrastructure. The program has two divisions, MUI Wash and MUI, for which a common studio was conducted. Once you click on the MUI Infrastructure Studio, you can go through the work of a batch of 2019 and 21 in the third semester. We worked on a wide range of projects, LID through TP scheme mechanisms, sponge open spaces, lake rejuvenation, vulnerability reduction strategies in slums, water sensitive planning through urban water channels in stormwater sector, catering to water scarcity in slums, green water WDS, groundwater management and regulations, improving the quality of drinking water and framework for implementation of network SCADA in Ahmedabad, wastewater management for periphery of AMC, sanitation in municipal schools, reuse of treated wastewater in industries, public conveniences in Ahmedabad, and sanitation in Charlies in sanitation sector, Pirana closure and scientific disposal of waste, material recovery at facility at RTS, decentralized segregation at primary and secondary level, decentralized organic waste management, and waste to energy plant in solid waste management sector. We'll be briefly taking you through the two works of the students done in the third semester to get an overview of the kind of projects covered. One of the project was the framework for implementation of network SCADA in Ahmedabad. Water is the most valuable natural resource as it is essential for human survival and life on Earth. In a world of 700 crore people, the demand for water is very high. Ahmedabad drives its water from as far as 170 kilometers. It goes through various processes from source to treatment plant and to users. The group assessed Ahmedabad city's water supply on the parameters of water stress and proposed interventions with a vision of a secured and sustainable water sector ecosystem for the Ahmedabad city. The project which we're talking about aim to enhance the distribution network in the water supply chain and augment its efficiency by extending the existing SCADA system in trunk lines to the distribution network as well. For the same, a framework is developed for guiding the authorities for efficient implementation and O&M of the SCADA system while driving recommendations for effective results for all the beneficiaries. The methodology was to develop an initial understanding of the SCADA and its different components. Further, the implementation of SCADA system in the trunk water supply line and its O&M was understood through the discussions with officials from AMC and Chetas Control. A pilot study site was then chosen to develop scenarios for intervention. Further, after consultation with researchers who have seen the implementation of SCADA in various cities, different modulations and calculations were developed which can now help the city authorities in decision making. Talking about the second project will be about stormwater management through open spaces and will be explained by Dhani.
So the second project is about sponge open spaces. And in earlier times, stormwater in the cities had natural pathways to
Just a
eventually
minute,
find
Dhani.
its way to discharge points or seep underground. With the rapid urbanization and development, stormwater has started appearing as a concern and hence requires management. Ahmedabad witnesses problems of waterlogging, flash floods with minimal groundwater recharge every time it rains.
Dhwani, just a minute. I'm just reaching to the project.
Sure.
Yeah,
The
Dhwani, you
city,
can carry on.
yeah, the city assessment was an effort to understand the concerns in detail and the very origin which is addressed through our study. Sponge Open Spaces package caters to the problem of waterlogging and simultaneous groundwater depletion by absorbing stormwater through the selected public open spaces of the city. This is done through the creation of a comprehensive mechanism that weaves through innovative institutional, technical, financial, policy, and program aspects for Ahmedabad. The pilot demonstration is done for a brownfield and a greenfield site. Methodology comprised of understanding the sponge concept, defining open spaces, assessing the city's scenario, and selecting sites. Technical interventions were based on good global practices. Implementation was done through phasing, financing, and institutional layouts. And lastly, scenario building, replicability, and upscaling to the city scale for eventually visualizing the scenario in 2050. Lastly, we would like to thank our guides and the university to give us this platform to present our work. We pay our sincerest gratitude to every member of MUI batch 2019-2021. Along with the academic understanding, the studio has engraved the principle of health, hard work, honesty, and happiness in all of our lives.
Wow, that was definitely great, Rishabh and Dwani. A quick presentation with with some of the quick walkthroughs of projects that we've had seen so far. So thank you so much. I'm glad the two of you made it easier for us and for our viewers, both understanding the studio, the program, as well as understanding the project, and where they could navigate and take a look at more details. So thank you so much. Thank you to Smith as well for being part of our session today. Thank you, Hemant.
Yeah, thanks a
Thank,
lot. Thanks a lot, everyone.
thank you,
Thank you,
viewers, for
ma'am.
joining us today. Have a good day. We will join again for our session at 5:30. Bye bye. See
Bye,
ya.
man. See you. Yeah.